What's up? What's up? Let's go live. What's up? Welcome to the Impact Podcast Show. It's your boy Coach A again. Let me know if you can hear me. It's been a while since I've been on these controls. So keep it locked right here for sure. We're going to talk about it today. How to stay positive in the sometimes negative world. It's a, it's Friday. You ready for the weekend? So we're gonna go ahead and let a few more people get checked in before we get into our discussion for sure. It's your boy Coach A back at it again. It's been a while, so you're gonna have to bear with me. I hope you're doing good. Hope you're having a positive, productive day for sure. Sometimes it's sometimes it's hard to stay positive, to keep a smile on your face with a bunch of stuff going on, but it's well worth it. Trust me, it's well worth it. Because the energy that you put out, what you put out is what you're gonna get back. And so if you run around here and your default is negative, then you're gonna always see negative things, and your emotions is gonna be negative. So you want to make sure you keep your default, keep it to positive. Let me share this real quick. So go ahead, if you tuned in, go ahead and share it. Let everybody know that we back. The Impact Podcast Show is back. For those you don't know, Impact is about having an impact. Impact. These are characteristics that's needed in order for you to have an impact here in the world, an impact in your relationship, impact in your career, whatever you want to do in order to be successful. You got to have an impact. You got to make an impact, and so you got to have the right mindset. You got to recognize your potential. You got to have the right attitude, character. You always got to maintain good character. And of course, T is that transformation, making sure that you're transforming, you're changing into whatever it is that you want to become. And so I know a lot of times we ain't there yet, but you have to force that change. You have to force that change, be it emotionally, physically. You got to force that change in order for it to happen. Because once your emotions and your feelings get behind it, it becomes reality. No matter what nobody else say, it becomes reality in your life. So some people might think you faking the funk or whatever, but that's just their opinion, you know. Long as you keep it, long as you stay positive and stay focused on what you want to, where you're heading to. So most people who know me know that I'm the tax man. That's what I'm known for. Filing and helping people prepare, big bookkeeping and doing taxes. I've been doing it for about 19 years. So, not just individual taxes, I do corporate as well. So, but when you come to my office, you don't just get that awesome tax advice and tax service. You also get that life advice, that advice that'll help you make an impact in your world. And so, I probably have maybe about 5 or 6 people that call me regularly. I'm really Coach A. They call me regularly, and it's not even pertaining to taxes. They call me with just different life situations and stuff like that. And that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here to. That's why I'm Coach A, because I want to coach you. I'll never tell you what to do. It's not my place to tell you what to do, but it's also my place to give you a different perspective, to help you understand what you're facing and what you're looking at, and definitely to lean you on the positive side no matter what the situation is. Because I've learned that if you can't have a good idea from a negative mindset, right? From a negative attitude, only negative a lot of times negative ideas and negative behaviors comes out of that. And so if you're trying to solve a problem, you're having an issue or something's going on, you have to look at it from a positive perspective. And that'll help you develop the proper ideas that's necessary in order for you to solve this issue or solve this problem. And it just helps you emotionally. Above all, it just helps you emotionally. If you have a task or you want to be successful, you know, the world instantly, once you set your mind to do something, it always seems like the world it comes against you. And it's actually our own self that comes against us mentally. That's just called temptation. The Bible calls it temptation, but that's what it is. And so instantly you have to make sure that you have these issues and these problems that you need to solve, but you want to solve them in a way that you can continue to be successful and you continue on that path. And so you don't want to just rush into things. So you want to make sure that you stay positive. So I'm gonna go ahead and let me go ahead and hit my intro. And when we get back, we're gonna get into it. How we gonna be positive in some negative situations. And I'm gonna, show you, break off some situations that came across me. I ain't gonna share no names and nothing, but just different things. And I want your help. I want you to tell me what you would do in this situation. So keep it locked right here. Impact Podcast. We back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Impact Podcast Show. I'm your host, Mr. Coach Adrian Mays, aka Mr. Positive, whatever you want to call me, for sure. So before we go any further, I just want you to know that this particular show is being sponsored by the Impact Music Station. Right? I'm gonna type it in the thing. www dot or mpact.com. Right. So if anybody interested in some good positive music, it is a lot of Christian rap on there, but it's a nice mixture of positive music. It's on that website, and this particular show is brought to you by Impact Positive, uh, Impact Music Station. So go ahead and swing over there and check it out when you get a chance. I'm telling you, I listen to it all day. I have it banging in the office. And every time people come in there, they'll be like, whoa, what are you listening to? I enjoy it. I like that. I like that. So it's a huge variety. It's a huge variety from, Spanish to, you know, um, Caribbean and Christian rap, all it's just a nice mixture. It's a blend. It's like my personality. It's my personality. So when you hear it, I want you to think about Coach A, because that's my personality. So anyhow, also, I want to let you know that we do have some other stuff. I'm part of a awesome group called Family Talk. It's our family. And every Saturday mornings at 9 o'clock, we on the podcast for sure, talking about, current events and just different life situations. So you always welcome to tune in Saturday mornings at 9 o'clock, Family Talk. And I'll put the link also in every morning as well. We also got Real Talk Tuesday with your favorite uncle Telly and your favorite nephew Jody Skywalker. So Real Talk Tuesday is grown folk. They usually start around 9:30. That's their grown folk talk. They talk about real life issues and stuff like that. So you definitely you don't want your kids hanging around for that, because that's some grown folk stuff there. So they usually chime in about every Tuesday, 9 o'clock. We also have Sundays, I believe it's Sundays at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is it's an all sports podcast called Endgame. And so we usually talk about well, I'm saying we, but I haven't been on there yet, but they usually talk about all sports, whatever's going on, from boxing to basketball, football, baseball, everything. I'm not a real big sports head. I'm strictly basketball, but it's an awesome podcast with my brothers for sure. So you definitely want to tune in. I'm pretty sure they'll be tuned in. There's a fight going on, I believe today for sure, or tomorrow. There's a fight. There's a fight this weekend. So I'm sure they'll definitely have that, be talking about that fight, you know. So, but anyhow, let's get into it, right? So first of all, let me tell you, just this past weekend, I was in Maine. I had my daughter, Brianna. Shout out to Brianna. She graduated from Maritime Maine Academy, marine biology. So she's awesome, and she got her job, by the way, at here in Florida at Moat Marine. So, but I was up there, and the weather's completely different in Maine. It's beautiful. It's beautiful because they have all these mountains, and it's water everywhere. That's what it reminds me of Florida, because all the water everywhere. But of course, you don't see no mountains over here. So you see these beautiful, high mountains and stuff like that. And it was cold. It was cold. I've been in Florida for 19 years, so I'm a bona fide Floridian now. Whenever it get to 50, 55 degrees or 60, I'm like, ooh, that's a little chilly for sure. So, but anyhow, it was an awesome ceremony. Shout out to Brianna. I was up there with the family, my uh what you call it, my ex-wife, and a lot of their family. I was, unfortunately, the only one could represent from our side of the family, but it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. She graduated, and so obviously, in order for a kid to be successful, they had to have the proper support in their life, and that's the point I'm getting at. Is that in order for Brianna to graduate, she would have to have the proper support in her life in order to follow through with these things. And that's really the importance of parenting, is to get the kids the opportunity to thrive and to be successful. And so at times it doesn't happen. Sometimes you have like single parents, and either the dad or the mom is not involved, and that creates a issue inside the child's life, their well-being, their mental structure. You know what I'm saying? All the things that's necessary to fight through, and continue on to be successful. Sometimes you lose it when you're not surrounded around the right people. So, I give a shout out to, you know, my ex-wife Shireen and Jeremy, her husband, because he's been there as well. You know what I'm saying? He's been there and to support. And I know without, both ends, that, this wouldn't be possible, because we had three daughters that graduated, not just Brianna, but, Bevan and also Benet. So they all was able to graduate due to that support that we have. And so the reason I bring that up, because I had one of my brothers contact me today. He was going through it. He was like, "Hey, I just got it." And first thing time when people call me, I'm thinking they calling. It's still towards the end of tax season. I'm thinking they calling me about some taxes or something. So I'm automatically like, "Well, what's going on, dog? Did you get a letter from the IRS or what?" He was like, "No, it ain't even nothing like that, man. It ain't even nothing like that. I just check this out." And so apparently what has happened was, he's been in this child's life ever since she was a baby for a long time. Him and the mom used to be together, and he was introduced to the baby at when she was a young age, like somewhere around 1 or 2 years old. And so he's always been in this kid's life. And I think now she's like 10 or 11 years old right now. And so what happened was, he, he's that type of person. The mom and him are no longer together. I mean, they're good friends, but they're no longer together. But he has taken on this task of being that support system for the kid, for the girl. Ever since she was 2, it's like nonstop. It's his kid. You can't tell him nothing different. So, birthdays, graduations, whatever she's going through, whatever she needs, he's always there. If it's dance recitals, if there's a problem at the school, he meet the teachers, talk to the teachers, and all that stuff. All the stuff that a father should do. And granted that him and the baby mama is not even together anymore. So, but they're just good friends. So here where the issue comes. I want you to think about this. So now I guess the dad who's in and out of her life, he's the biological father, but and in fact, I think he might be even locked up right now as we speak. He might be in jail now. So, but I want you to think about now he's feeling some type of way, right? He's feeling some type of way about that. He doesn't want this guy. He feel like, you know what? Since you and the baby mom is not together anymore, what are you doing? Why are you still involved in a kid's life? Why are you still involved in my kid's life? And so he's probably feeling some type of way about that. And so that leads me to a question like, how would you feel? What would your reaction be if you've been taking care of a kid, ever since they was 2 years old, and you was introduced to them, and you grow to love them and support them and all the way, and even though you and the mom ain't together anymore, you ain't, you took on that responsibility. You took on that responsibility, and you don't want to let it go. But now you got the biological parent on the outside, not trying to cause some issues, or have a problem with you. So think about that. What would you do? How would you handle that situation? It's just weird, like how you stay positive in that whole environment. you know and so he called me with that, just saying, and how we can get like, you know we as men, we have egos, and we don't, sometimes we don't back down. We're like, yo, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know where to find me, but I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna be in this kid life, and I'm gonna go even harder. I'm gonna post more pictures, and do all this stuff just to show you that I ain't going nowhere. And so people do that, but obviously, you don't really want the drama. We don't run from it, but drama is never a positive thing in anybody's life, especially parents. If you're co-parenting and you work with a kid, that you don't want to be surrounded by a whole bunch of drama. And so, my advice would be to, I told him, hey, first of all, it's second and third hand information. So you want to make sure that whenever given the opportunity, you have a conversation with this guy. Let him know, the situation, how you, if he don't know, let him know how you got involved, and, how serious you are, and how long you've been there, and all these things, you know, and that you're not going nowhere. You're here to help. You're here to help him. You're not here to, you know, talk down or anything like that. You're here to help foster the child, and give them and nurture the child so that they can become successful. You can never have too many positive, strong role models and influences in your life. You can never have too many. Obviously, there's not enough time in a day for everybody, but at least you always have these people that whenever you have events, they show up. And, if you need to talk to somebody and somebody is busy, you always got somebody that you can communicate with. And so I just let them know, you know, that first and foremost, I just advise them, say, hey, you want to communicate with this guy. A lot of people go through this. They have drama with, either the baby mama or baby daddy, or, and it doesn't help to, extend and go towards the negative when you're going to be, arguing and fighting and feuding. That stuff affects the kid. It affects the child. So you want to try to communicate and be able to talk to that kid. I mean, talk to the adult. And sometimes, you know how people are. Sometimes they don't want to hear it. Sometimes they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear from you. They're mad. They stuck in their ways. Whatever situation is, and you did your part. You did your part. You reached out, and you let them know, like, hey, you know, I don't mean no disrespect, but I'm here for the baby. I'm here for the baby. I've been here ever since she was 2, and it's been 10, 11 years, and I'm still here. I've been to all these parties, birthday parties and recitals, and graduations, and all these different events. And so, you know, I'm just here to stay, man. I don't and and so I think it's just fair to have that conversation, And if the person don't like it, I don't, depending on, the direction of the kid's life and where they're going, and the mom. Obviously it's the mom's ultimate decision. Who's ever the parent, who's ever the guardian and taking care of the kid, then obviously they make that ultimate decision that, what, okay, this relationship is okay for my daughter to have, even though we're not together anymore. This relationship is okay. And so, we can continue to move forward with you supporting her in the way you have. Or she might be like, you know what, I'm over you. I'm headed in a different direction, and I don't want, you and my daughter's involved in my daughter's life. Either it's too stressful for me, or it's just confusing to her, or whatever the situation may be. They might feel like that, and so we just have to respect that. It'll be hard. It'll definitely be hard, but you just have to respect that the parents' wishes, because it's their child. Now, for somebody that's just part time, that's not uh, over the kid, they're just, like, even though they're their biological father, I don't think that that they have the right to make that full decision, because they're just part-time. They're in, the kid's life one moment and they're out. Like, if he was there since the beginning, and supporting and taking care of his child from day one, and very instrumental and influential in the kid's life, then you might have to respect that opinion. He might tell you, hey man, I appreciate, everything that you've done so far, but this is the, me, and this is the direction we're going. I talked to the mom, and we came to this agreement, and we appreciate your services, but you might have to get your own kid. So but that happens. I mean, that happens, and so we just have to respect what these wishes are, because people these days, they looking for drama, looking for reasons to to be at each other's to be at each other. So but yeah, I was able to give him an insight for sure. Not to get him, first of all, not to get emotional about it. And obviously, I don't think a person that's in and out of jail and really not focusing on being free so that they can raise their kid. I don't think they're in the right mindset, anyways. If your mindset is out here hustling and you got kids, and by any means, and you in and out of jail, and just leaving the kids with their mom or whoever, you know, to fend and survive on their own, because that's the wrong mindset to be in. You need to have when it comes to raising kids, you need to have a mindset of, I need to be present. I need to be here at all means. That means I have to change. It's interesting. The Bible talks about the greatest love, right? It talks about the greatest love is that a person that is willing to lay down their life for another person, and that's the greatest love. And so I want you to think about that for a minute, that if you truly love somebody, because I ask people this all the time, like, if you truly love somebody, would you lay down your life for that person? And so most people be like, yeah, I would. And so that's the question. So if you saying you would, then I would tell you to do that. Lay down your life. Lay down that old person that used to doing things a certain way, and become this new person. Become this new person that makes better decisions, and that teaches people, teaches, becomes a better example. Let me ask this. So I would say that's the individual that you would want to be, right? So lay down that old person that used to make the bad decisions, that old person that used to be, always hustling and in and out of jail and, you know, just no regards for the law, anger, you lay down that person and become that new person. And I guarantee you that things will go right for you. But that's what you're supposed to do when you become a parent. When you become a parent and you have kids that you're guiding, it's important to do that. So, make sure you leave a message. Let me know how you feel about that situation. Have you ever experienced that? Has anybody ever came to you and try to tell you that, you know, what are you doing in my kid's life, or, you know, any type of drama like that? And, so next thing I have also, again, I get different people that, when they sitting in the office, they tell me, their situations and what they're going through. And so it's like I said, sometimes it's not always easy to be positive when these negative situations, when there's a negative environment or there's negative things coming up, but you can do it. It takes a focus, it takes a focus, but you can do it. And so um, this next person, she's raising her sister's kid. I think her sister, she has two, I believe, two kids of her own. And then now her sister, she has her sister's kids, and her sister has three more, I believe. So now she got a total of instantly went from like two to five kids, you know, because her sister is, getting in trouble and now she's locked up. And so it becomes frustrating. She just explained to me, like, you know what, like, it's just frustrating, man. I can't continue to do like this. Something's gotta give. And a lot of time in those situations, kids end up going to like foster care or stuff like that, and obviously we would like, the we would like for family members to, take over the kids, but everybody ain't able. Everybody can't, their life ain't built like that where they can just take on three and four more kids because somebody's parent don't want to do right, right? And they got, can go to jail. But what about those that are doing it, right? And you're getting frustrated. I understand. I know you could be getting frustrated and whatnot, but you just have to continue to focus on the task. Focus on why. Why are you doing this in the first place, right? Why are you doing this in the first place? It's because you want to give the kids the opportunity. You want these kids the opportunity. You want them to thrive and have the mental stability, right? Opportunity and success comes out of mental stability. When you have kids that have that stability, then they have a better chance, right? And so, even though she might be a single parent, but at least the kids are with their family. They can see their other siblings, and, it becomes a much, much more conducive environment for kids and a positive environment. They don't have to worry about, being with somebody they don't know, or, you know, it's just, you just have to realize that. And so, but it does get tough. It does get tough. And so the way you do that is don't focus on the how tough it is. Don't focus on them problems. Don't focus on the issues. You have to focus on the positive portion, the reason that you're doing this. Focus on the kids. Just think of how bright or how much of a better opportunity these kids are going to have and how much better they'll be by being in this situation as opposed to where they could be, you know. And that's really what being positive is about. It's just about focusing on some of the positive things in our life. Focus on the kids. They're healthy. They're, what I'm saying, they're in the situation where, they're being taken care of, and, they're eating because you feeding them. And, they're not being abused because you taking care of them. There's your family. And so that's important. It's very important that,
we learn how to train ourselves on how to focus on positive things in those environments when we're in those situations. And you'd be surprised how many people, their default is negative. Like soon as something negative happens or they see something negative, they automatically they check out. They check out, they get frustrated, they get upset, and that just makes your whole environment worse. It makes it a lot worse. So for sure. And so yeah, there's a few more. I have a few more people that come to me and they just sometimes they don't want no advice. Sometimes they just want to hear some positive words. Some positive inspirational words, and that's what it's about. It's about being positive and making sure other people get and become positive and give them a different perspective, right? So remember that we are here to make an impact for sure. We are here to make an impact. So again, that's it. That's all I have for today. I'm just trying to get back into the flow. Friday nights, 7 p.m. Friday Night Lights, 7 p.m. It's Impact with your boy Coach A. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the outro, and you keep it locked right here. All right, peace.